Why isn't this a national holiday? United States of America, get with the program. Here.
Welcome to the Robbie V show. We're gonna do things a little differently here, boss. The first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get right to what you want. That's the lock to the week. Welcome to the Robbie V show, where it's time to start paying the light bill. Yeah, it's been long enough. Now it's time for basically the locks of the day, locks of the week, steak dinner picks, whatever you want to call it. Basically, we're back, right in the wheelhouse. It's week 0, boys and girls, college football. So let's get right to what you want, locks of the week. But, obviously we'll get to that and then talk about the dopes of the day, walks of the week. We'll talk about some other things, such as, fantasy drafts. Why not? It's fantasy football, baby. You gotta love it. It's kind of crazy about J.J. McCarthy, but, that's last week's news. Let's talk about this week. So unless you're living under a rock, week 0 college football. There's only 4 games to start out on Saturday, August 24th, which, it's kind of a downer. I honestly wish they had more, obviously, because, I want to watch college football. Excuse me. They, the good thing is there's football all throughout the day, which is great. Let's kick it off with the first game. Florida State versus Georgia Tech. Florida State obviously is going to come into this game with a chip on their shoulder, especially after what happened last year, where they got snubbed for the college playoff. I know a lot of people say, hey, they shouldn't be there because it was Travis Hunter. The quarterback got injured. They didn't play that well. And then they got curb stomped by Georgia. It was 63-6. And I kind of get that logic, But I think FSU is they're in a pretty good position for this game for a number of reasons. First off, their offensive line. The Florida State offensive line basically averages about they're 6'5" and 300. They can basically move people. I think they have over 300 starts between all 5 of the guys who are starting right now. They did a great job last year. They got a stable of running backs. I understand, they're losing their QB, but you got to kind of have to look a little bit beyond that. And I'm not going to sit here and say Florida State hasn't lost a lot of talent. They have. We all know that. But bringing in the USC quarterback, I realize he's mistake prone, but he can play. And his name is let's have a good laugh here. It's DJ Ugalele or something. I don't know what his name is. Yeah. I think that what was it? I think where Florida State is gonna Jordan Travis, that was his name. Name escapes me. Basically, I think Georgia Tech is going to have a couple problems in this game. The first problem they're going to have is that I don't think their defense is that good. Yes, I realize they have a new defensive coordinator and they brought in all these transfers, but I don't think the transfers are that good to begin with. And they averaged giving up last year almost 6 yards a carry. And what does Florida State do really well? Run the ball. Florida State probably isn't going to be able to run the ball well against these clowns or against these guys. It's just my opinion. Which is going to set up right into what DJ wants to do. DJ is going to want to set up DJ and Norville, obviously the Florida State coach. They're going to want to basically set up the run and just use the play action pass to hit him down the field for a little bit. Look, no one's going to sit here and say DJ is going to be, bombing it from, Provedes to Tallahassee. It's simply not going to happen. But a couple of play action passes, Georgia Tech defense is going to have its problems. And, I think the spread right now on DraftKings is -10. I think you play that. I think you play that all day and twice on Sunday. And on the other side of the ball, I also think Georgia Tech's going to have some problems. I don't think, obviously we talked about the defense, but their quarterback, he creates I think he has something like he had 18 interceptions or turnovers last year. And against that Florida State defense, that's going to be a problem. Someone also needs to, the Florida State pass rush is going to be in his face all day. And the drop off from his performance when he has a clean pocket to when he has not a clean pocket is very substantial. So I think honestly, Florida State covers this spread. -10 right now on DraftKings, and honestly, it's the lock of the week. So Florida State, baby, let's go Noles. Get out your tomahawk chop and let's do it. Let's do it. So the second game of the week is it's very different. It's Montana State versus New Mexico. Two teams I know very little about. But this is a game at 4:00 on Saturday. Montana State actually, is a pretty good team. I think they took down Wyoming. No, they lost to Wyoming last year by only 3 points. They can play. I mean, and New Mexico is just a mess. I mean, they have a new coach. They're not really that, they're not really well put together. They are at home, so I can't imagine, they are going to be up for the game. I mean, new coach and whatnot. But I don't know. I'd stay the hell away from this one. I mean, you're basically talking an FCS school and playing Division I. It's too many intangibles. I mean, the overs, Montana State's favored by -11 right now, and the over-under is over 54. I just wouldn't touch it. I just think too much, maybe, and I'm not saying Montana State won't win. I mean, they probably will. But I do know that, a little research I did on them is they like to run the ball, and they're going to just kill the clock. So I think it's going to be pretty hard for them to hit 54 points. And I also think the -11, I mean, if New Mexico, somehow with that decrepit offense and defense that they have, manages to slow them down and, maybe even, God forbid, New Mexico puts up a touchdown. I don't know. It's week 0 in college football. I mean, if you can't, I don't even know where Montana State is. I mean, I know it's probably in Montana. It might be outside Helena, but I can't tell you to, put your money on something when just, it's just too early in the football season to be, making hay over freaking, Montana State and New Mexico. There's just better opportunities, better games to bet on than this shit. But what are you going to do? All right, moving on. So let's talk about SMU versus Nevada. By the way, if I did have to put something on Montana State, New Mexico, I guess Montana, but I mean I would buy that line down to 7. I don't know. Please don't bet on that. I guess that's my thing. SMU versus Nevada. That's at 8:00 on Saturday night, and that game's going to be played in Nevada. SMU is a really good team. They're also going to come in very motivated. This is their first year in the ACC, and they have a good quarterback in Preston Stone. They also lost to BC last year in Fenway, so they're definitely coming into this game with a chip on their shoulder. And they're also coming into this game look to show people that they belong in the ACC. So they're going to be ready to play. It's also been, according to SMU, they have a lot of their production back on offense and defense. They have, great receiving core, great running back core. And Nevada right now is just a mess. They're coming off a 2-10 season. I think they lost double digits a bunch of times. The spread is freaking 24.5, which is, it's pretty steep. I think it was started at 23. It went to 28. And then some people, the big influencers or whatever, said, hey, play Nevada, which, I mean, take stock for whatever that's worth. I don't know. I mean, Nevada, I know, does have some transfers. I know Pat Garwa, BC, transferred there. I know he's trying to get some, the coach is trying to get some talent in there. But I think it's just such a rebuild. I also think with SMU coming in with trying to go gangbusters and try to show that they belong in the ACC, I wouldn't touch the SMU minus 24.5. But I would touch the over 56. I think SMU is going to put up a lot of points. I think it's going to be very hard for Nevada to stop them. And I also think that their second team is more than capable of running down the field on these clowns. for Nevada. So I think the over. I mean, SMU could honestly hit them over by themselves at 56. So I guess that's probably the way I play it. But I mean, again, it's week 1 and it's week 0 in college football. And there's only 4 games, so trying to make it interesting here. The last game is starts at good old 12 o'clock on Sunday. Hawaii versus Delaware State. Yeah. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you to bet this at all. Hawaii. Excuse me. Hawaii is a good team. I mean, they're better than last year. A lot of wide receivers coming back, and yeah. They have a better team, and they're good. Delaware State, on the other hand, is a dumpster fire. They lost to a Division II school last year. They don't have much of an offense, much of a defense, and they're already having problems with their plane. Top of the day, it goes to whoever, did the maintenance for that flight. I mean, they missed the flight. I don't know how the hell you miss a flight to Hawaii at JFK if you're going to Delaware. But that's just me. I don't know. Dope of the day performance. I really wouldn't. I mean, the spread right now is minus 39.5. Yeah. I really wouldn't touch this either. I mean, look, obviously Hawaii is going to win. I think we all know that. 40 points is a lot to lay, especially on Hawaii. And over 57s, yeah. I don't I'm sure the Hawaii offense is going to score it well, but them putting individually 56 points up is probably, or 57.5 right now on DraftKings is probably, yeah. That might be a lot to ask. So it's not a game that I would play, and it's kind of the way I feel about it. So for games that are gonna be, I'm just getting the clock out. Yeah. So there's a couple games I figured I would talk about regardless, just because, the show records Wednesday, it gets aired Friday. So, and on August 29th, I figured, it's not gonna be aired, so I figured might as well talk about them. Oklahoma versus Temple. Line on that's like, this is the August 30th game. Line on that's like Oklahoma minus 43. I think you probably, and the over-under is 59. I mean, Temple sucks. I mean, they're awful. I don't know if I would be running to the window to bet this, but if you really want to, if you really want to sit here and just laugh at a game on a weekend, just watch those guys. Let's see. Yeah, I can talk about that later. I mean, there is a lot of Thursday. There is a lot of Thursday next Thursday action. I mean, none of it's really not that. A lot of it's not that good. I mean, Rutgers versus Howard. I mean, big time players make big time players with that one. UCF, University of Central Florida, is playing New Hampshire, UNH. I think UCF's probably got that. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a spread on that, to be perfectly honest. And, week 0 definitely is a lot of games where, they're just basically slaughters. So what are you going to do? Although, I don't know. I guess, if anything, I mean, don't sleep on Coastal Carolina. They got a good team. I know the spread's minus 3.5 right now, but I mean that's obviously going to change. But I mean, what are you going to do? All right, so Patriots news. I think it's. I mean, I'm kind of hoping Drake May doesn't start off the year. I hope Jacoby Brissett does, because I don't think the offensive line, and just let Drake play. When he's ready and good. I don't think it serves any purpose for him to, start the season as a starting quarterback. I think he needs to learn under Jacoby. get his feet out from under him, get his feet under him, and and do his thing. What else is going on? Sox keep doing Sox things. They had a nice win Thursday or today, Wednesday. I'm happy for them. I mean, they're keeping this a little bit more competitive than I thought they would, as I said before many times. Yeah, I mean, they're only 6 back in New York. I mean, who knows? I mean, you can't. I mean, the Yankees aren't. They're starting to tail off a little bit. Baltimore definitely is tailing off. If Sox can, get a win streak going, they'll be all right. And hey, they're only 3 back of the wild card. I mean, why not? And why not us? Why not now? Other than that, I mean, NFL Week 1. We'll talk about that more next week. But lock of the week, Florida State, baby. I think that's it. I mean, if I'm wrong, well, hey, it's a horrendous start to the season. So, Florida State -10. If I were to give some MVPs this week, shout out, what's their names? Shout out the Phillies. They won me some money last week, so appreciate that. Shout out, what else? I had a parlay. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was like the Phillies, Yankees, and Washington Nationals. Shout out Nats for winning. That was a big up. And it's good to be back though in college football. I did have my 2 fantasy drafts. They're all right. I got C grades for both of them. So what are you gonna do? I mean, what does ESPN know anyway? I mean, who knows? Hopefully, I'll be making a studio appearance the first week of September. I was talking to Justin today. Hopefully I'll be Danny and Brorica and myself will be in there. And that's about it. All that's going on. Dope of the day goes to probably the Chicago protesters who got arrested. I don't know. Need to keep just keep it. Just play it cool sometimes. Play it cool. Also, dope of the day goes to. What was it? It was like a news article. I need to. Dope of the day goes to WEI. I mean, they're having their 50th. Well, actually, Wonk of the weekend. Dope of the day goes to them. They're having their 50th shakeup over there ever since Kirk left, and it's just kind of ridiculous. I mean, why can't WEI get it together? Why do they listen to freaking daft fools such as Bob Murchison? And now their radio station's a shell of itself, and no one listens. I don't know. I mean, also, shout out, dope of the day goes to Luke McKay for, calling me out of supposedly losing $45 in the locks of the week. I mean, if he had played every lock of the week, I'm pretty sure he'd be in the black, so. Luke McKay, you got to be better, bro. You got to be better. All right. It's been a great show. I'm very excited, and, I'm ready for week 0 of college football. This is Robbie V. Oh, my presidential campaign, it's going well. The presidential campaign's going great. The fact of the matter is that, the voters are coming to Robbie V, and, I'm definitely a third-party candidate that's going to impact this election. I mean, is the press covering my campaign? No, but, fuck them. Who needs them? All right, this is Robbie V signing off from an undisclosed location. Signing off.